the Democratic Party's socialist core is ready to make Chuck walk the plank. Mark my words, it is officially pretty much over for poor Chucky Schumer. His days as Senate leader, they are definitely numbered. Also tonight, we'll be joined by our FBI Director, Kash Patel, cleaning up the swamp and taking a sledgehammer to America's enemies. We have a lot to discuss in just a few minutes. And, yep, the Democrat that literally kissed Jasmine Crockett's feet. But later, also, shocking video from San Francisco, a light rail driver appearing to fall asleep at the wheel at a high rate of speed, leading to a very scary, very dangerous situation for passengers. But first, thanks to the Republican Party, President Trump, and a tiny handful of Senate Democrats, the shutdown ends tonight. In exchange, Democrats got a whole lot of nothing except, well, hurt feelings and a lot of finger pointing and a lot of anger amongst themselves. In fact, the thought leader of the Democratic Party, which we all know is Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she's now seething with rage. Take a look.
I think it's important that we understand that this is not just about Senator Schumer, but that this is about the Democratic Party. Senator Schumer, there's no one vote that ended this shutdown. We are talking about a coordinated effort of 8 senators with the knowledge of Leader Schumer voting to break with the entire Democratic Party in exchange for nothing.
You have to ask yourself, how much longer were they willing to deny people that need SNAP benefits, 42 million Americans, those benefits? How much longer were they going to allow chaos at our nation's airports? How much longer would they ask hardworking employees, ICE agents, to work for free? And as for her thoughts about Schumer, who orchestrated this entire political stunt, let's just say she's not exactly rushing to his defense. Take a look.
Congresswoman, you mentioned Schumer stay as minority leader?
I think what is so important for folks to understand is that this problem is bigger than one person, and it actually is bigger than the minority leader. And I think what's important is that we understand that this is not just a leader is reflected as a reflection of the party, and Senate Democrats have selected their leadership to represent them. And so the question needs to be bigger than just one person.
All right. And she's also said, well, time for the old guard to go. In other words, AOC blaming Schumer and the rest of that old guard. No room for bipartisanship in the new radical Democratic Socialist Party. If you look on social media, if you listen to most of the Democratic lawmakers, they were all dead set on keeping this shutdown going indefinitely, no matter, who is facing hardship. And that was impacting millions of Americans. Now, the party of compassion, the Democratic Party, that's what they tell us, the party of hardworking men and women that didn't vote for no tax on tips, overtime, Social Security, or the largest tax cut in history, they wanted to use leverage. They wanted their demands met. And they wanted, above all else, not to in any way give the president a win. Is that what it was about? Ego? Because you didn't win anything. Now, I warn you, this is a preview of coming attractions. This is your modern Democratic Party. Hakeem Jeffries has yet to see the writing on the wall. He's proud of the Democrats, this performative shutdown. He's ready to receive his participation trophy. Take a look.
What do you think, Leader Jeffries? Do you agree with Ro Khanna? Do you think Schumer should be replaced?
Leader Schumer did not bless this agreement. He voted against it. And, of course, Senate Democrats who voted no have made that clear. And what we've seen from Senate Democrats over the last 7 weeks has been part of a valiant fight that we have waged together.
All right, to recap, Democrats block poor American families from receiving food stamps. They cut off paychecks to FAA employees. They caused thousands and thousands of flight delays and cancellations. Federal law enforcement officials, other government workers also went without pay. Democrats even tried to prevent our troops from getting paychecks. If not for President Trump, if not for the generosity of one billionaire, their pay would have been totally cut off. And for what? Nothing. The world record for government shutdowns, the longest ever? Okay, you can put that in the Guinness Book of World Records. But according to several Democrats, it was all totally worth it. Really? Take a look.
Is the shutdown worth it? Yeah, I think so. I hate it. But yeah, it was worth it, definitely. We got people to pay attention to the fact that this is a traumatic, in many cases, life or death situation for people all over this country.
Was the shutdown worth it?
I think it was, because I think the perception, we made it clear that this, not just the healthcare issue, but the whole issue.
It was their bill. They put in the plan for it to expire. It was supposed to be temporary. And if it's the Affordable Care Act, why do you need government subsidies to begin with? You're looking at a rift between Democrats who want to make life basically hell temporarily for their political stunts versus people that want to burn it all down in the Democratic Party, make life hell permanently through government socialism. Pick your poison. Now, thankfully, President Trump is your president. Republicans maintain small majorities in the House and Senate. But without 60 votes, sadly, there is only so much that the GOP can get done. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.